Many people in Igbo land and outside Igbo land look at Ikwerre people and conclude that they are Igbo people. They look at Ikwerre people and say and believe that they are part of the larger Igbo ethnic group just because they speak Igbo language or a brand of Igbo, which is a group, of Igbo group of language. The language in general is known as Igbo group of language. So for the fact that they speak Igbo language or a brand of it, they say they are Igbo people. As well as the Ikwerre people, the Oba people, the Ogwashuku people, Anioma, Aniocha, Oguta, Abo, Onechas, Kwale. They say that all these people are Igbo people because they speak Igbo language. They conclude, but it is not true. Language alone is not the final criterion to decide ethnicity. It is not the only and final parameter to decide ethnicity. It is not the only yardstick background to look at when deciding ethnicity. It isn't. Language is not. When you want to talk about an ethnic group, there are so many components that we will have to, be looked into. So many fragments come together to make up an ethnic group, not only language. Okay, look at it now. That people from Obi the Agwa, when I went there to carry out a research on their origin, the older people in the community told me that their ancestors came from Abo. Fine. Now look at the story of Nsukka people in present-day Igbo land, where their ancestors say, where their elders say that their ancestors came from Igala. The Enugu Ezike people in present-day Enugu state say that their ancestors came from Ida. Igala people do not speak Igbo language, nor Ida people. They do not speak Igbo language. But people who are in Igbo land proper, in the Igbo hinterland proper, now say that they came outside the shores of present-day Igbo land. How does it look like? If you now want to bring some logic into it, how do you see it? And today they speak Igbo. Nsukka people speak Igbo. Many parts of Ebonyi state, as they say, came from across Igbo land, from many parts of Benue into Igbo land proper today, and they are speaking Igbo language. Language is not the only criterion when you want to conclude anything about ethnicity. It is not. Language might be deceptive because on the face of it, now you will not agree that somebody from Bonny is Igbo because he or she speaks Igbo language. The Bonny people are not Igbo people originally. Bonny people are Ibani people. Ibani is from the larger Ijaw ethnic group. But today, the official language in Bonny is Igbo language. Their chiefs, the ordinary people, bear Igbo names. Most of their public places carry Igbo names. But originally, the Bonny people are not Igbo people. You see, because during the Atlantic slave trade in this part of the Niger area, Bonny was a slave terminus where so many people, drove to Bonny and converged. Slaves came in large numbers to be shipped outside Nigeria at the time. The leftovers after the official banning in 1807, now decided to integrate and become part of what today Bonny and Finima. And many of the people today, if not almost every person in that place, speaks Igbo language. So on the face of it, you will say that Bonny people are Igbo people because they speak Igbo language. Language is quite deceptive. It's quite deceptive. All over the world, societies, communities evolve as a result of the composition of different elements of people into it. That is how every society in the world is developed. People come from different areas, different ethnic backgrounds to be a part of a society. There are people who come through warfare. There are people, who are captured during warfare. They are there. There are people, who look at the lifestyle, the way of life, the behaviors of a particular ethnic group. They like them. They like the story they hear about them. And they decide to move to that place and integrate with them. They become part of them. In time to come, they become part of the society. Of course. So if they come from a weaker culture, as normally, practically, and naturally to happen, and where they are heading to is a stronger culture, yes, quite naturally and quite practically too, the place they are going to, which is a stronger culture, will definitely submerge and subsume them. It may subsume their character. It may influence their way of life. It might also change their original language. Of course, if you look at the story of America today, or that of Britain, or South America, where slaves from Africa were shipped to during the inhuman, trade on human cargo, that era. The black people you see today in Brazil, in America, or the Americas, in Europe, today cannot speak the African languages anymore. It is almost impossible. They cannot. Yes, they look at the color of their skins, color of their eyes, and still agree to identify themselves as black people, as African people. But they cannot, differentiate their way of life, their language, customs, and traditions from where they are presently. But you cannot say that a black person is an European or a black person is a South American or a Mexican. No, he is not, she is not. But today, what they speak is a language of the place where they are. That is how every society in the world is made up of. People can look at a place and say, yes, this place is fine. As people are moving in droves now to America, to Europe, to China, to Asian countries and so many other places, in the next 200, 300, 400 years to come, if they are still there, nobody will know them, or identify them apart from the color of their skins as people who are outsiders, in those places. Nobody. So that is how it happens. Language is not the only thing. If you go to Europe, for example, there is a native language that is there in Europe called German language. German language is a language spoken and used at least by about 4 or 5 countries in Europe. Countries like Germany, Switzerland, Austria, Luxembourg speak German language as their official and native language. Look at these 4 to 5 countries. I know that some fractions in Belgium also use it. But these 4 countries I have mentioned officially speak German language as their native language. But you cannot call a German an Austrian or a Swiss. He or she is there. No, he is a Luz. I'm an Austrian. She is a Swiss. I'm a German. Not minding the similarity in language, but the nationalities differ. They are not the same, but they speak the same language. So that is the way it happens. Not when you look at the people and you say, because they speak the language of my people, they bear the names that are common with us, that they are part of us. It is whatever they say concerning where they came from, who they are, is what you are going to say. If somebody now asks this pertinent question, is it possible for one mother, one father to give back to all the people who are in Igbo land presently? Will the answer be in the affirmative? Of course not. Of course. You now say all the people in Yoruba land, in Hausa land, in Great Britain, in Germany, were they all born by one mother, one father? The answer will always be no. Now, if we say no, how can we now originally, distinguish the various peoples who have come to settle in that country as one country? How can we separate them to say, you originally came from here, you originally came from there, if there were no records when such a thing happened? How can we? It is not, it is not possible. Look at it, that an Igbo person will say that his ancestors came from Israel, as some of them do say. that they are Jewish by origin, without putting into consideration the similarities in language, customs, and tradition, even the unconnectedness in it, the uncommonality in name bearing. Still, someone will say, my ancestors came from Israel. How germane is it? How correct is it? Logically, you will see that it makes no sense. But if in unanimity, the people say, that is where we came from, there's nothing anybody can do about it. You know? So that is it. The Yorubas, some of them have taken their history outside the shores of Nigeria. They don't want to be part of any other ethnic group. So now they take it outside, you know, the boundaries of Nigeria. And some say they came from Mecca. Some of those who don't want to place it in this world, you know, who don't want to be part of this is our cosmos, this is our universe, now take it as far as coming down from heaven. I know you are familiar with the story of Oduduwa. You know, the story of the Benin people was coming from sky, and part of the you know, history as also coming from anywhere from sky. You know, so that is the thing. The Ogoni people say that the ancestors came from Ghana, and many people in Ejo and Bayelsa say that their ancestors came from Ghana, without considering the differences in language, culture, and tradition. So it is what a people say concerning who they are is what should be submitted and should be accepted, not by what you want to say about them. Whatever their ancestors handed down to them as their history is what they will tell, is what they will write about. So it is not in the position of a stranger to say it is a lie. Because you speak Igbo language, it is a lie. If you ask Arochukwu people, say, where did your ancestors come from? Some of them will tell you that when Igbo was coming, Arodi, as they call him, or the personality, as they call him, Arodi, also came with Igbo from Israel. Look at it. So as you now came from Israel, maybe the weather, the climate changed the language, changed behavior, changed the color of skin, changed so many things about them. But that is their submission. That is their story. There's nothing anybody can do about it. So it is not that Ikwerre people speak Igbo language that will make you say and conclude that they are Igbo people. They say they are not Igbo people, but they don't hold any grounds against Igbo people. This is just a historical matter where you came from, I came from. It's just, as simple as that and as ordinary as that. There is nothing attached to it, no hatred, not based on any anger or whatever. No, it's just history. Whatever a people say concerning where they came from, who they are, should be sacrosanct. Of course, that is what should be taken. So in general, Ikwerre people, as well as Oba people, Epeye people, Onechas, Oguta people, Anyoma, Anyocha, Abo, Kwale, Ogwashukwa, so many of them, say that they came from the old Benin Empire and they are not proper Igbo people. Even though they speak the Igbo group of language called Ikwerre group of language. And of course, somebody can explain how the language evolved, how it came about, from which area it was first, it was first initiated. The first area where the language emerged from. Nobody can say it is from this clan, Igbo land, that it is Nnewi, or from Daisen, or from Soka, or from so. Nobody can explain how the language came about. Nobody can explain. Nobody can explain whether it came from the coastal side moving to the hinterland, or from the hinterland coming to the coastal side. Nobody can explain who really brought out that language, how it came to be, whether it is a composition of many other, languages. Nobody knows, because if you look at the French dictionary, and the English dictionary, the French vocabulary and the English vocabulary, you see and find many commonalities in them. Many words are common, to each other. Many things are common. International, Republica, Mary, Maria, Michael, Michel, so many. The people of France, Italy, Spain, and even the Germans share common words together, but they are not the same. They are not the same, because the words in English are related to some of the words in French. You now say a French person is an English person. He or she will tell you he is French and English. They are not the same people. That is where they have explained it. By carving out different political entities for themselves, means they are not the same.